The American War of Independence was an 8-year-long war after which the 13 American colonies won their independence from Britain and went on to establish the United States of America. To give some context, we would have to go back to the 7 Years' War, as the cost of British victory against France left the British government deeply in debt. From their founding in the 1600s, the American colonies were largely left to govern themselves. Attempts by the British to raise revenue by taxing the colonies were met with heated protest among colonists, who resented their lack of representation in the British Parliament and demanded the same rights as other British subjects. Colonial resistance led to violence in 1770 when British soldiers opened fire, killing 5 men during the Boston Massacre. 3 years later, Bostonians boarded British ships and dumped their tea cargoes into Boston Harbor as an act of protest against British taxes known as the Boston Tea Party. The outraged British Parliament passed a series of punitive measures designed to reassert authority in Massachusetts. In response, a group of colonial delegates, including Washington, John, and Samuel Adams, met in Philadelphia to denounce taxation without representation, as well as the maintenance of the British Army in the colonies without their consent, but did not go so far as to demand independence. In April 1775, local militiamen clashed with British soldiers in Massachusetts, marking the start of the Revolutionary War. The Second Continental Congress, including new additions Benjamin Franklin and Jefferson, convened in Philadelphia and appointed Washington to create a Continental Army and oversee the capture of Boston. American enthusiasm gradually waned due to the dangers of the war, and colonies were compelled to entice soldiers who were mostly unexperienced, young, and poor men with offers of cash and land bounties. A key point of the American Revolution was the Congress' decision to transform the Continental Army into a standing army of soldiers doing long-term service rather than one-year enlistments and volunteering. Also, beginning in 1778, the Continental Army enlisted African Americans, a practice that Congress had initially forbidden. Although the Revolution's first major battle ended in British victory, it lent considerable encouragement to the revolutionary cause, as the less trained American forces inflicted heavy casualties on the British at the Battle of Bunker Hill. By 1776, a growing majority of Americans had come to favor independence, and on July 4th, the Continental Congress voted to adopt the Declaration of Independence, drafted by a 5-man committee including Franklin and John Adams and written mainly by Jefferson. Thomas Paine's pamphlet